Today I will be refuting my applicant's topic, which is a player must attend at least 1 year of college before being eligible to be drafted into the NBA. After the 1 year is completed of college, they'll be able to play in the NBA. Claim B responded is the new eligibility rules are beneficial to the NBA, to the players in the NBA. The secondary claims is the first one is players are able to develop skills in college. The second one is college education saves players that are no longer able to play. The third one is college not only educates but allows players to be in a safer environment. The response to the first claim is that players are able to develop skills in college. An extra year of basketball is beneficial to players because they'll be better prepared, like shooting percentage, which she stated. However, my reasoning challenge is that all players use their own individual mechanics, and when playing, they have to adjust to the coach, not just to being better prepared, because not every coach uses the same techniques and ideas. Second, a player entering the NBA out of high school may have bad habits, like the turnovers that they have. I did a research on the NBA sports rank on two players, one that is a rookie and the one that came straight out of college, which is Steve Nash and LeBron James. And LeBron James had 3.3 turnover game in 2007, which he's a rookie, and Steve Nash had 3.6 turnovers in 2007. So we're comparing two, so we're questioning if it's the effort of the player. My second response is college education saves players that are no longer able to play. If there's a shutdown of the league, a player will be able to get a job supported by a college degree. My counter challenge is that the lockout right now is a huge problem in the NBA. A lot of players they're trying to lower their salaries, and there's some players like Kobe Bryant and LeBron James who are rookies that went straight out of high school to the NBA. They're able to manage their own business from the money from the NBA, compared to Steve Nash, who he graduated from Santa Clara University with a degree of sociology. He's now establishing his own clothing line, so he's not really using his sociology degree. So is it really about the money that, is a college degree really necessary when players are now using their NBA money to establish their own college businesses? Also, my opponent stated if a player is injured and can no longer play, they'll be able to complete a job market today. My reasoning challenge is if they go to college with an athletic scholarship and get injured before going pro, there's a chance you may lose your draft pick. Compared if you already go into the pros, you're guaranteed more chances of contract money and medical coverage. You're under the reserve list in the NBA. And third, players do not stay in the league for the entire life, therefore they cannot depend on the NBA's money to support. Just like he gave an example of Charles Barkley that attended Urban University, but he left early. That is true. However, you can take into consideration that many players are not rookies and still have the NBA's money to support them economically, and they profit from making their own businesses. So the third claim is that college not only educates but allows players to be in a safer environment. Many NBA players are convicted of felonies that can be avoided by receiving an education. He gave an example of Charles Barkley. However, I researched Charles Barkley, and there are several bibliographies that he has been convicted of a felony record for being in DUI in December 2008, and he was fined $2,000 in Arizona. So that's not always true. All players can be convicted of felonies. It doesn't matter whether you have a college education or not. And the number of players who attend college have criminal records is less than don't. Players should not be required to attend college in order to be their own personal image, and in doing that of NBA. Charles Barkley, again, he was convicted of spitting on a young girl, so his personal image was ruined because he spit on a girl that he mistaken by, and he was then considered a bad role model. Lastly, these are my reasons why the new eligibility rules are not necessarily always beneficial to the players and to students that straight come out of high school that want to be drafted into the NBA.
All right, the structure's identified, the secondary issues are labeled, your signposting as you go along, that's pretty good. The discussion on the individuals on that first point was okay. I didn't really hear very clear evidence on that point. The comparison that you made right after that between LeBron James and Steve Nash, you've got some statistical comparison that's going on here, and I'm not sure what the inference is. Is the inference that one of them was not better or one of them was better because they went to college? This is one of those places, again, where I think you're presenting evidence and reasoning without clarifying what the claim is here. It's essential that people understand how we're supposed to process the information that you give. Just giving the data and an explanation is not always as effective as simply telling us what the point is that you're trying to make here. And I think that you get a little lost in that process there. I thought that it was a little bit clearer on the second point, where your argument basically is that success in life and in the NBA is not really dependent on having gone to college. And you've got a couple of examples of that, and mentioning Kobe and LeBron having successful businesses, and Steve Nash also having a successful business, although he's not working in the field in which he got his degree. So maybe one of the arguments here is that college is really not essential for success in life in general and in the NBA, and that should be the counterclaim there. And then it's a lot clearer how all that information fits in. Although, like I said, I thought it was clearer on this point than you had on the first point. The issue of injury, I think, is reasonably well explained. Again, I think you rush a little bit on that, and you could clarify your point and summarize it internally and make a stronger point by doing so. The whole explanation about Charles Barkley, I guess the argument is that having a college education does not reduce the chances of having a felony conviction. The example of Barkley was the example that the advocates cited, and so that's why you're going after it. And you've got a DUI. I would suspect that the number of people who've gone to college, gotten college degrees, and have DUIs is probably equivalent in the general population as it is to people who didn't go to college. Some general evidence on this, I think, would be applicable. You're just relying on the one particular example here. I don't know what the whole argument about spitting on the girl had to do with anything and how that was connected to whether or not they stayed an extra year in college. There's way too much reading, and sometimes you just need to stop, look at the audience, and tell us what the argument is instead of getting involved in all of the intricacies of your analysis, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's the difference between writing a paper and giving a speech. And if you're writing a paper, you can get away with that, because if somebody doesn't understand what the hell's going on, they go back and read the paragraph again and say, what the hell is that all about? But when you're listening to the speech, you got to be able to get it straightforward the first time. All right, thank you.